Hey, this will be a video chart on ticker symbol TRTC. We will look at the daily time frame. I would like to note to please check my disclaimer. Before we even get to the technical chart, though, I want to first talk about this piece of news. This is Yahoo Finance, but you can go to Google Finance, MarketWatch, any of the websites that have the press releases, and check this out. Came out not today, but on Friday after the market closed. So today's action was the first day that the press release, did get factored into the chart. So I'd encourage you to check this out. I'm not going to read it to you. You can do that, but I just wanted to make note that the company does have a very recent update. So here we're looking at the chart, and hopefully the first thing you see is big volume came into it today. There was profit taking and selling, but there was a very nice bounce, and actually it bounced from a very crucial area, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But what I want to do is just map out some support resistance levels and talk about if this bounce does get started, which past history shows we could be looking at a potential bounce here. Then we'll just map out some resistance levels on hurdles that you're going to want to see the price get above. So for this, we're going to have to scrunch up the chart quite a bit. We'll zoom back in after we map out this area, and you can see here I wasn't lying when I said we have to scrunch it up quite a bit. Actually got to do it a little bit more. There we go. And looking all the way back here at this beautiful hammer candle right here, a couple things I first want to talk about. First, we'll just map out the support. The low on that day, and this is from October 4th of 2012. This low was at 13. So drop that line down there, and we'll change this to green. And then when we zoom back in, that way you'll know and hopefully remember where this line came from. So you can see, like I said, we'll look closer, but that's right where the price found support today. So besides establishing that low, you can see that then over the course of the next few months, a very nice upwards move. Now, obviously, there's no such thing as a guarantee in the stock market or any market for that. So I'm not saying that this is 110% for surely going to happen, but past history is one of the great benefits of charting. So you can see that the last time it did come down here and bounce off this 13-cent level, a nice move did follow. So that's something to at least make note of and keep in the back of your head. So again, we're going to zoom back in now, but remember this is where that green line's coming from, the low from back here on October 4th. So now that we're zoomed back in, you can see right there today's low was literally at 13 cents, and that's the exact same low from way back in October. So if there's some sort of bounce that's going to happen, actually let me take a step backwards. Let's just first talk about supports. Short-term support and ideal support level, meaning ideally if this level here is able to hold, that would be great, but I'm going to leave it a skinny line because if it doesn't, you still do have this big 13-cent level down here. But this level here is at 14 cents. You can see the price just barely closed above it today, so it is therefore still technically a level of support. So 14 cents, the ideal level of support, but the big level and what's hopefully going to be the double bottom bounce level is this 14-cent level here, and that kind of segues nicely. Double bottom bounce, if you're not familiar with that, is just when a price comes down and finds support at an important previous low. And as we already established, that 13-cent level from back in October was a previous low and a very important one, and it has bounced right from there. So this could quite possibly be the beginning of a big technical chart pattern, the double bounce. And like I said, if you've never heard of that, or if you have, then you know that it's probably one of the more popular technical patterns out there. And like we showed, if this is the beginning of a double bottom bounce, the chart has a history of making some very bullish moves. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So if a move does start to happen, how are we going to measure the strength of the move? Well, the good news is with charts, it makes it very easy, and we just do that from looking at levels of resistance. And the first level that you're going to want to watch, I'll change this to red here to represent resistance, is this trend line right here. This is dynamic, meaning it does change with time, but for the time being, it looks like it's right around the 15.5 cents. So that'll be the first area of resistance that you want to break above. After that, the next way to measure the strength of the bounce is going to be to see how it reacts up here around the high, which it did hit today at 17.5 cents. And then right above 17.5 cents, you have this purple line here, which is the 50-day simple moving average, and that's valued at 0.184. So these will be the key levels of resistance. And like I said, the nice ways to measure the strength of any sort of bounce movement from the bulls. Now, if you do get above the 50-day simple moving average, which is that purple line again, that's where the skies kind of open up in a sense, and there's no other really resistances, or at least key ones, until up here into the 20s, which is from these previous highs back here in mid-March. And to put an exact number to that, that's right around the 23-cent area. So 23 cents is going to be kind of the miniature blue sky breakout. But first things first, got to get through these resistance levels. But again, these are important because that'll help to measure the strength of any sort of bounce going forward. And again, a little too fast that time, but there we go. There's that period, and you can see how during this upwards move, one resistance after another was broken. So same concept holds true here. Measure the strength of the bounce by the amount of resistance levels that it breaks during the move. So that's where the chart currently stands, though. Very interesting day. Great to see that it was able to bounce off this 13-cent level, and now it's just a matter of seeing if this current bounce action can get any sort of traction with it. But if there's continued press release and stuff from the company, that certainly can't hurt. So if there are any other questions on it, please let me know. If not, once again, this was TRTC. Thanks for listening.